Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your host, the experience of some call Jason, and joining me today is...
And token Super Baby 2 fan, Tarky.
CDL 113.
And the Todd Father.
And as everybody out there probably knows, and if you don't, stop listening at this point and go watch the trailer. We've got a trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be going over it, probably throwing out some of our own theories, or some theories we read online. Danny, why don't you give us a rundown of what happened in the trailer?
All right. In the trailer, one of the first things you see is what you assume is maybe Tokyo or some city being destroyed by what appears to be Godzilla and people running down into like either subway tunnel or something. And then you have an overview of Kong on a large boat being brought from Skull Island to what appears to be somewhere mainland. You've got scenes of Godzilla or possibly Godzilla scooting through the water, cutting ships in half with his back spines, and jumping up onto the flatbed that's carrying Kong, and Kong giving him a great right hook. And then commences flashes of other things going on. Kong back on Skull Island fighting some monsters, and you've got a scene where Kong and Godzilla look to be in some sort of downtown city that's all lit up neon. And Kong's jumping off a building with what appears to be a axe in his hand, and Godzilla is hitting him with a flame breath, and the axe head is blocking it. So that's the basic rundown.
Wow, that was actually very brief. I'm proud of you, Danny.
Well, Jennifer has been saying I've talked too much, cut my dialogue down. So
It's fairly brief.
But there was, other than that one right hook, there was a little bit of more fighting between them on the
Yeah.
ship. I particularly like the scene where Godzilla's back in the water, and you see him, let loose with the fire breath, and you basically got Kong kind of jumping off the ship as it blows up with really a startled look on his face.
yeah. Online I saw somebody describe that where Kong is up in the air jumping, a John McClane moment, because they had a picture side by side of John McClane jumping off the
roof.
You're jumping off the roof of the Nakatomi building, and Kong jumping off, and they got that same kind of body pose. But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
For some reason, to me, through a lot of the trailer, it looked like Godzilla was smaller than he should have been. Like something about like the camera angles, how they were filming or something, just made it look not sized right to me.
If you start getting into some of the fan theories, and
Don't give away the fan theories yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying from what I saw from the trailer specifically, it's just like,
Yeah, some of the shots he does look small than he ought to be.
yeah. But also, the jokes from the trailer have been funny to me.
Which jokes?
There's my favorite one. One of my favorite ones is fans listing their reasons why they'd win the fight, and you have the Godzilla side of like its statistics and stats and all this number crunching and like he can breathe this this hot with his breath, all yada 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 yada. And then on the King Kong side it goes big monkey, and that's it. And it just made me laugh.
With an axe.
No, it's not even spelled. The monkey isn't even spelled with a Y. It's just big
Spelled
monkey.
with E.
Yeah, it just ends with an E.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I found it funny.
One something similar that you know why Kong wins versus Godzilla. Kong's a tool user.
I was about to bring that one up. Talked to a buddy at work. That was the first thing I brought up was Kong's new power. He could use tools.
Not even really new. He used tools in Skull Island.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he did.
Yeah, you would yank up a tree and use it as a club.
Yeah. Use the tree as a club. Hell, he killed that skull crawler when he realized, oh, there's something sharp on the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes him, cuts him up with it.
Hell, he was using trees as spears when he was taking out the fucking helicopters.
Yep.
One of those helicopters,
Yeah,
he
the
took
first
down,
one.
he threw the damn thing. And
That was the first one. Is what's that? And it's a tree that hits him.
yeah, and there ain't no hand attached to it. It's like, oh crap. Yep. Like these new noises.
But that's been the thing is on the Godzilla side of things. They go, well, they had to give him an axe, and that's like they pulled it out of their ass. If you watch King of the Monsters, you ain't got no room to complain about shit, because Godzilla was Goku at the end of that damn thing. They pulled every fucking trick in the book to have him manage to beat King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Well, he got juiced up with radiation. Well, ain't enough. Well, he gets juiced up with Mothra. Now he's burning Godzilla. Well, nah, dude, come on. It ain't like Godzilla just fought Ghidorah head up and won. Godzilla had all kind of fucking help.
Now, let's be fair. Ghidorah had advantages in that one too, though.
Yeah, but
he pulled in electricity like Godzilla was pulling in radiation, and running around in the modern world means he had a lot to draw from.
Yeah.
But
now, I agree with you that they were Gokuing him.
Yeah.
I was kind of
beat him because he Goku'd him. I wouldn't have said anything if it would have been just, well, they hit him with the oxygen destroyer. They hit him with a nuke to revive him. Okay, that's Godzilla as it stands. That shit, well, now Mothra dies on top of him. He absorbs Mothra, and now he's burning Godzilla. And no, that's some Goku shit. Because they ramped him up with the bomb. And Ghidorah took him and dropped his ass from orbit. Yeah. So, in comparison to that, a monkey creating a tool, which is something that apes actually do.
Yep.
They are tool users. Yeah, that's a no harm, no foul. You got to come up with something better than that shit.
Okay, watch. If you don't believe it, watch Discovery Channel or pull it up on the internet. Monkeys of just about every variety, from the tiny ones all the way up to the great apes, they will use tools, whether it be a rock, a stick, a piece of bone.
Yeah. That's
creating an axe is a little bit further than that. But you're pretty sure Kong was, above baseline animal intelligence back in his first movie.
Well, also just as the surface area of brain, he has more, and that's how you think.
Mm-hmm.
And he got thumbs.
Yep. Opposable thumbs and long arms.
Hell, if you had King Kong boxing, I would be like, yeah, that makes sense. He has enough brain capacity that it would make sense to see him physically fighting in a consistent form.
Thing is, like I said, that's one of those, they whine about that. Well, if they wanted to apply real world science to it, which I don't know why you would on a giant monster, but anyway, apes are unbelievably fucking strong.
Yep.
A chimpanzee is 6 times stronger than a human.
Which they can rip your face off.
Yeah, and rip your junk out. a gorilla of that size, how would you feel if he just grabbed Godzilla and broke him? Hey, he took him and he ripped something off. Oh, it's his jaw cracked.
Well, if you look closely at the axe, I think that's what he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty sure that axe blade is one of Godzilla's spines.
Yeah. I think that's the reason why it's absorbing the breath, is because it's a back spine. You won't need
No, I'm sure Godzilla just shed one and Kong finds it.
As long as Kong has been running around, as long as Godzilla's been running around and fighting in the movie universe that they've got here, I'm sure between one of his fights with either the bat-looking creatures from the first movie or Ghidorah or one of them, some of his spines probably got knocked loose. So, one of them companies, like either
Kong just happened to find one. He went to the store and he bought one.
I bet you see Kong tear that sucker off. I
Yeah,
know that.
yeah. He
can see
could
Kong
probably
biting
rip-
that shit off.
Yeah, he probably gonna rip that motherfucker.
But, you know, I'm sure they've been experimenting with that stuff, whether it's Apex or Monarch.
Well, you know, that one guy from King of the Monsters has got one of
Ghidorah's
Ghidorah's
heads.
heads,
Yeah.
so yeah. That was actually my buddy at work joking about, you know, they'll fight and then they'll team up and then they'll fight, you know, Ghidorah. He's like, I had the name in my head immediately. He struggled for a second and then came up with like Mega King Ghidorah.
Yeah. And that's the rumor. The rumor is you get a fight between them that establishes a victor, and then the two of them have to team up to go fight something else.
One of the things I was watching, you know, I watched the trailer and somebody else's review on it I was watching, made quick points to point out about the scene behind the young scientist's head on the screen behind him where it, you know, says battery power X amount, saying that that's the blueprints for Mechagodzilla. And he said, I noticed something else when I slowed the trailer down looking for little Easter egg shots. That scene that I mentioned at the beginning where you got the folks running down into the tunnel and what appears to be Godzilla in the background, the way he slowed it down on the frames is it looks like a mechanized Godzilla, like similar to what the old school, you know, 60s, 70s, you know, Mechagodzilla looked like. And even the fact, like when the Godzilla jumps up on the barge where Kong is chained up, talks about how when his feet hit the thing, there's sparks coming up. There's a spot on one of his shoulders that kind of has a metallic sheen to it. Even his teeth, when they stop the frame, have a metallic look to it. So who knows?
That was kind of my guess from jump. It was, oh, this is neat. Yeah, it's probably Mechagodzilla. This because that's just it. There's no secret that Mechagodzilla's in the damn thing because they fucked up at one of the toy fairs and they got a picture of the toy.
Yeah.
Mechagodzilla's in the damn thing, and I figure they're doing in this sense because that's one thing I like about the guy that did King of the Monsters. You can tell he's a fan of the shit, and in the Showa era in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, the original one, the one that was Godzilla versus the Bionic Monster when I was a little kid. Yeah, that's how Godzilla shows up. Mechagodzilla shows up in a Godzilla suit.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes. His roar ain't right. His flame is the wrong color. And he beats the living hell out of Anguirus. I mean, he beats him bloody. And, you know, and as a little kid, you sit there and go, what the hell's going on here? And he's rampaging until he gets hit with breath from off screen. And then there are two Godzillas standing there.
Yeah.
And it's once the beam weapons interact, it's explosive. It blows up. Godzilla goes flying back. The other Godzilla goes flying back. And a chunk of the meat is knocked off, and you see metal up under there.
Yeah.
And then once the jig's up, yeah, they just burn the whole suit off, and you got Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
So you think that's what they're doing here is a throwback to that?
Yeah. That's what I think.
That's what I'm figuring. I'm figuring that's the reason why they going, you know, Godzilla's attacking people. They can't understand why. I'm almost wondering if old boy from the first one, the one that ended up with Ghidorah's head, just went, fuck it, hell, I'm gonna create me a monster and wipe out mankind.
Yeah. That's
or
what
he's going to create a monster, get mankind to go after Godzilla, and just figures mankind will lose.
Yeah, that can work too.
I know from the trailer and then from what this other thing I was watching, the young scientist, the young Asian scientist, is supposed to be the son of the guy that died that set the nuke off in the first movie. Yeah, sure was supposed to be his son. And based on one of the reviews somebody overseas did of it, it was one of those things of, oh, he's bitter about how his dad died and he wants revenge. So that's another thing that, for me, in my head as a nerd, going, oh, vengeful son? Yeah, I'll team up with a bad guy to get revenge for my dad dying.
But see, I'd hate that.
I would too.
Because the dad explained in no uncertain terms hey, I'm cool with this and doing this of my own volition the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be him just spitting in the face of his own father for shits and giggles of it.
On the other hand, he might not be working with the bad guy, and just still be a little bit bitter about his father dying.
Yeah.
Trick is though, Shirazawa would probably be hailed as a hero, because
Oh,
it
no.
ain't like Ghidorah wasn't terraforming the planet. Ghidorah was an alien.
Yeah.
Unlike any other Ghidorah, I mean, the original one, they talked about Ghidorah being an alien, but it never really made a hell of sense. That one, it made sense. You went, yep, that sumbitch shows up at your planet. That's it.
He is an extinction level event.
Yeah.
Well,
And another thing you could always have, it could be aliens.
Yeah.
The original Mechagodzilla was brought to Earth by aliens.
This is true.
Ghidorah is an alien. So, for all you know, that was a bioweapon.
Yeah.
Which would, again, with that guy being kind of a fan of the old shit, Godzilla fought a whole hell of a lot of bioweapons.
Mm-hmm. A lot of alien monsters or space monsters.
My personal vote. Well, if they didn't do the aliens from the third planet from the black hole, which were essentially monkeys, they were 8 people, I would vote for the sentient cockroaches that brought Gigan.
But then we'd have to have Guy again.
I know.
They were damn cockroaches.
You're sitting here saying this, and then if you've got a generation of folks that have never watched all those movies going, what?
Yeah,
he's serious.
Gagan.
Oh, I love Gigan.
I thought it was one of the neater designs of the old ones.
Yeah, Gigan was actually one that I was hoping they were going to bring back, and then when they did it in Final Wars, I didn't like the design of it.
I like the fact they changed him to have chainsaw hands.
See, I like the hooks. I like the hooks, and for an old school fan like me, he was the first something that made Godzilla bleed. Up until then, you never seen Godzilla bleed, and Gigan flew by and blood shot out of his arm. It was like, oh, this Joker ain't playing.
That's what happens when you have a buzzsaw stomach.
That's true.
Yep.
That helps. What you got? I got a buzzsaw on my stomach. How does that work?
Like
Don't ask stupid questions.
It works like this. Brrr.
Only dumb one in that first one in Godzilla versus Gigan was Anguirus, because he does that. He cuts on the buzzsaw, and Anguirus for some reason charges him head on, and blood splatters the screen. It's like, why the hell did he do that?
Well, nothing else has cut him before.
Because he's a big mutated dinosaur. He doesn't know what a buzzsaw is.
I want to say by the time you got to Godzilla versus Gigan is the one that, hell, if you see the Japanese version, they actually have like word bubbles where they talking to each other. And they do the whole backwards record thing where it's going, and they have like bubbles. Where if you read Japanese, yeah, you're reading it like a damn comic book. Other movies they went from horror movies to what the hell are you smoking?
Well, it became popular with children once it was giant monster fights.
Yeah,
So you get Godzilla
Started
drop
targeting
kicking people.
which is cool, except Godzilla versus Hedorah is in that same time period. No, it's Godzilla versus Hedorah is just a LSD trip. And anybody listening to this, if you have HBO Max, yeah, Godzilla versus Hedorah is on there. In fact, a whole lot of old school Godzilla movies are on that. Just go to the Turner Classic Movies section. It's a ton of them. And yeah, Godzilla versus Hedorah is on there. And no, it's a 70s acid trip. And brutal as hell. Because it's one of them that's really rare for that time period because you see civilian deaths.
Yep.
Because when Hedorah flies around, it leaves a trail of sulfuric acid behind it. So you see people dropping dead and turning into skeletons behind it.
Yep.
Yeah, because it was a whole kind of acid rain.
Yeah.
Call out pollution thing.
Yeah. Oh, well, Godzilla versus Hedorah, when I was a kid and saw it the first time, was called Godzilla versus the Smog Monster.
Yeah, over here.
Yeah. To be fair, since we've already gone off topic, that was Bono's first thing he wrote movie-wise.
Really?
Yeah, he wrote Godzilla vs. Ghidorah. Then the next year he wrote Starving Sahara, which was a documentary, and then some other stuff. Like, he did things earlier. He was a director. He directed one movie before Ghidorah. And he had done a few things here and there, but movie-wise, that was his first movie. That to write.
Yeah.
And his second movie to direct. So he was fresh on the scene.
So to get back to Godzilla vs. Kong.
He's also the executive producer on Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
He was also the executive producer for Godzilla and King of the Monsters.
So
He was
you
pulled
got
for all
this. You got this little girl that looks like I'm assuming the woman that's taking care of her is like a monarch researcher or something.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You never see the girl speak, though she seems to be able to communicate with Kong. So I'm assuming she's one of the natives of Skull Island because they were
That's what I'm
they
feeling.
were kind of psychic.
Yep.
And the woman makes the comment about she had nowhere to go. So I'm wondering if the people on Skull Island had gotten wiped out some kind of way.
It's possible. Because one thing nobody's really talking about is those war bats. The big, look like winged snakes.
Yeah.
You see Kong fighting. Because you're gonna have more monsters in this thing than just King Kong and Godzilla.
You know what monster I want to see?
Who's that?
The big tusked guy from King of the Monsters that never did anything in King of the Monsters.
Oh, what was his name? Behemoth?
Yeah, I think that's what they were calling him.
The one that looked the most like Kong?
The one that was essentially, well, no, that wasn't the one that was essentially a mountain. But I know which one you're talking about. The one that was, like an elephant without the trunk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just because I'd like to see him do so. What is to this guy? And he'd be a good warm-up fight for Kong.
I walk around.
But anyway, back to the little girl. Like I said, I'm wondering what happened to her people. I'm almost wondering if they're going to use her almost like the fairies, like they used the fairies from Mothra.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm figuring she's going to be like the fairies from Mothra and, what was her name? Mickey from the Heisei era of Godzilla films. You had the girl that was a psychic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was one of the things on that thing I was watching. The guy was talking about, he stops the thing where it shows the like the big war board and, conspiracy theory board. And one of the things was, are humans becoming telepathic due to the exposure to the radiation of these monsters? And he referred back to the old school movies, how you had folks that were telepathic due to, growing up around them. And, that was one of Monarch's little pet projects.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I'm guessing. And it gives Kong a relation to people.
Yeah.
Which is a Kong trait. He relates to people.
Another thing with Kong was the giant handprint where Kong, as people said, Kong looks like it's trying to remember something while it's putting its hand on a handprint that's its size.
I'm assuming that was one of its parents' handprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's basically him going, seeing that he's, kind of seeing that he's full grown now.
Or if you listen to the voiceover and that's not dependable because the way they chop stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
And the cave paintings that you see in King of the Monsters, it implies that there was a war between Kong's species and Godzilla's species, and that those two are just the last of them.
Yeah.
That may be another reason why when they go, well, he's got an axe. Well, if it's a kind of species battle, you could see it knowing how to fight something like Godzilla.
That's possible. Let's see.
That's the trick is, the Titans in the Monsterverse, they're animals, but they ain't quite animals. It's a little. They have histories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shit went down a couple thousand years ago or
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah.
And they were alive to both see and do it.
You know,
Well-
that wasn't Godzilla's first time fighting Ghidorah
Mhm.
or Mothra or Rodan, because you had the cave paintings.
Yeah, I was
of
going
the
to say,
shit.
if you go back to the end of the King of Monsters, where they show all the cave paintings, even some of the
Well, that's Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
Kong Skull Island ends with, you know, when they bring in Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson, and they showed them the cave paintings, and it's Godzilla and Rodan, it's Godzilla and Mothra, it's Godzilla and King Ghidorah.
Yeah. But I'm talking like at the end of the other one where they're showing you some of the old pencil drawings, that date back to the seafaring days, and they're showing, oh, we caught a sea serpent, and it's the skeleton of something.
Yeah.
I'm going, okay, yeah, that could have been one of them bat flying things that Kong's throwing around just without the wings. Because it was
The
just
thing is, they've never established what it was that set John Goodman's character off. Because remember, he was on a boat that got attacked by something, which is where how he ended up either found in Monarch or something like that in the first place.
Yeah, so I'm hoping they go more into it. Hell, even if they go and do a prequel movie to one of them, show us some monsters we hadn't seen before,
All right, who's predicting the winner? Who you predicting to win?
Well, you've thrown out a theory, and I'm kind of going along with what you said.
I'll put the theory out.
Mhm.
My theory is Kong is going to win that, and the context clues are this. Ghidorah's proper name is King Ghidorah. He was he's Monster Zero, and he becomes King Ghidorah. He's the alpha. He's the king of the monsters for most of Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
So you had King Ghidorah. Godzilla's tagline, which comes from the American dub of the original, is Godzilla King of the Monsters. Godzilla at the end of King of the Monsters is literally King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
But if you notice, Kong's proper name is King Kong, but it's Kong Skull Island, it's Godzilla versus Kong, and at some point you're going to have King Kong, and for you to have King Kong, he's got to take out Godzilla.
Mhm.
Yep. He's either got to kill him or hurt him bad enough that Godzilla bows to him.
I don't see Godzilla bowing to shit.
No.
I can see Godzilla retiring. Yeah, I got my ass beat bad enough. I'm just gonna go over here, but
I'm going to go live under this volcano.
I don't see him bowing to a damn thing. Like I said, you will likely have. They say that there's a flat out winner though, so
Yeah.
I have to
They're
wait
not
to see.
going to do the ambiguous kind of thing they did with the original.
And
I know who the all-out winner is. The construction companies that get to rebuild all that stuff. They're the ones that's going to make the money.
Cha-ching.
that bullshit. And besides, I remember me and Jason going back and forth at the end of the first one, where I was like, "That's gonna fuck up the world economy."
Mm-hmm.
Well, anything that comes by ship, you're gonna have to pay $1 billion for, because motherfuckers are not gonna get out on the sea with shit like that running around.
Well, it depends on how many of them are ocean faring and how easily you can keep track of them.
Tricky is I was proven right, because at the beginning of King of the Monsters, shit is fucked up because they realize, oh shit, giant monsters exist.
But anyway, so Godzilla versus Kong is the title card match. There's a side match I want to see. There's also in the trailer you see what's her name, Millie Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Who was in King of the Monsters? You see her character's back. I want her and the little psychic girl to fight. Because clearly she's Team Godzilla and the little psychic girl is Team Kong.
So they should box.
Yes. I mean, the psychic girl is little, but she looks feisty. I think she can hold her own.
Put a box of Egos between them and see which one wins.
That is not 11.
She plays 11.
I know she plays 11.
I was being sarcastic.
But that's what I want to see. I want to see the two fan girls go at it.
You can have the whole thing like hell a damn
That could be the people plot. That could be the people plot. They're fighting. Millie's character's still got her father. Psychic chick's got like her adopted mother. It could be like a parent trap thing going on in the background. All right, that's what I'm calling. romantic subplot.
Strange
don't-
thing.
I just don't want that in Godzilla.
Nobody ever wants the people plot in a Godzilla movie, but it's always there.
Yeah.
Hey, to be fair, I like the people plotting Final Wars.
Well,
'Cause it
yeah,
was-
because the people
the
plotting
plot was
Final Wars were
90%
basically
kung fu fighting.
superheroes. Super Sentai!
Yeah, they had basically invented the cops from Crackdown.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love that shit. Because
Now
it
the question is,
it meant
are we
cool
going to
shit
get a
happened.
video game out of this?
Probably not. You probably will get a video game. I have seen some toys, but the ones from SH Monster Arts are more than I'm willing to pay for because they're like $70 a piece. And I'm sitting there going, God, I'd really like to have a King Kong Godzilla, but damn, I'm not going to pay that for them.
And you know they've done monster versus monster fighting games before that worked pretty well. They could actually do one. They just probably won't.
Godzilla games. You just, hell, that last one for PS4, I don't think it got a real big release over here, but hell, it had the 2014 Godzilla in it as an unlockable character. Because it went all the way up to that one, but not as far as Shin.
Okay.
But I don't know what the state of Toho's deal with Legendary is after this one. Originally, they were saying, well, that's it. And then there was some rumblings like pre-COVID that maybe they were going to keep doing some other stuff. So it's
Well,
it's one of the kind of things I would have lived long enough to see a reboot of King Kong versus Godzilla. I don't care if they do another.
well, one thing they could do too is if Kong winds up winning, they could carry on with Kong because they've established some of their own monsters in this stuff.
Yeah, that's true. You could look up how Mechanicon.
I want Mechanicon.
Yeah, I was
thought it
just
neat
here
as a kid.
thinking
I
about
saw as a kid. I saw Mechanicon before I saw Mechagodzilla.
You and me both. Hell, I saw Mechanicon before I saw the original King Kong.
I can't remember which ones I saw first.
Dad tells a funny story is we were living in Lebanon, Tennessee, and they had King Kong Day. And they played King Kong versus Godzilla at like noon. And I was gonna try and watch it, and somebody hit a power pole and the power went out. So I ended up I saw just enough of it of Godzilla coming on land fighting the tanks, and then everything went dark. And by the time they got stuff up and going, it'd been off for God knows how long. But King Kong, the original 1933 one, was coming on that night, and I'm not quite in kindergarten yet. So I'm sitting there trying to watch it, and I'm scared as hell. And Mom goes, Todd, bedtime, and I take off running. And Dad loves that damn story because he was like, you were scared as hell, and we hadn't even got to Skull Island yet. I tell you was scared because you were sitting there like patting your foot, and he was just flat out mocking me a couple of days ago. Oh yeah, when you were little, when we get scared, you start doing this. Yeah, you were doing that like gangbusters.
Nice. All right,
Yeah.
so who's going to the theater to watch this?
Hell no.
I got HBO Max, baby.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on my couch.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the couch. It would be great to see that big, and if I was to hit a lottery or something, I might get a big screen TV to watch it on. But other than that, yeah, no.
Do you want me to bring my big screen over to your house?
Sure.
We'd have to schedule that.
No, don't make offers you're not going to back up with.
Well, no, I'm just saying we'll have to schedule it. Because I'm only really free on weekends.
But I guess we can go ahead and wrap. I think it's safe to say, kind of in conclusion, that we're all really looking forward to this.
That trailer at least once every day.
I haven't gone quite that far, but I've watched it a few times.
Well, like I did on a Facebook post, King Kong versus Godzilla is the first giant monster movie I ever saw. I saw it when I was 3 years old. When I saw it, I didn't see it from the beginning. I just saw the last fight. And yeah, I have memories tied to my mom and all kinds of shit on that. It's the first Christmas I can remember, all kinds of stuff. So I have loved those two giant monsters literally as long as I can remember. So yeah, I'm jazzed as hell for that one. Shout out to my grandmother who went all over Paducah looking for her grandbaby who wanted a life-size King Kong and Godzilla. Grandmama asked me one time, "What you want?" I was like, "I want a life-size King Kong and Godzilla." And God bless that woman's soul. She went all over town looking for some shit that I done made the fuck up of my little child ass mind.
Such is the creativity of children.
I sit here to this day going, she had to have known that shit didn't make no. What's a life-size Godzilla? What story handle it?
Did you really even know what Godzilla was?
That shit. But she so loved me that woman called up toy stores asking for that crazy shit that I came up with. Oh my God. I can only imagine people on the other end of the phone. Hey, with this woman. Oh, we ain't got no life-size King Kong up in here.
Grandmas do a lot of things for their grandbabies because I could ask my parents for whatever toy it was that had my attention. They'd be like, "Nope, you got to wait till your birthday or Christmas." Grandma, here, I want something. You want such and such? Come on, let's go to the store.
Still shit existed. But anyway.
Look, no, I'm sorry. I have to jump in here. I asked for stuff that didn't exist yet, and I got 2 of it. That's how great my family is at giving me gifts.
How long do you have to wait, though?
I had to wait several months. I had to wait several months past my birthday. I think around 5 or 6.
It doesn't exist yet. Wait on it.
And that's what I was told. You're going to have to wait till it comes out because it hasn't come out yet. I went,
yeah. Which Gundam was it you were wanting?
Heavy Arms Custom Battle Damaged.
That's right.
Which I only got one of them, and then 15 years later, we're cleaning up Mom and Dad's room, and they had bought one and tucked it and hid it in case you didn't get one, and they forgot.
Nice.
So it's still in package.
That happens a lot.
Well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. If you noticed something in the trailer we didn't talk about, because there's lots of little Easter eggs, and we didn't bring all those up, or you got your opinion on it, or just want to talk to somebody about how much you're looking forward to it, drop us a line. You can reach us in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube. You can email us at thenerdattornal@gmail.com, and we're on Facebook, and we're on Twitter.
Please like, share, and subscribe because that actually helps us out with the algorithm.
Yep.
Oh, yes, this is true.
Yep.
If you listen to this, feel free to rank us on your podcatcher, iTunes in particular, or Apple Podcast, whatever they're calling it now. 5-star reviews on that are actually very helpful.
If you have a spouse or significant other, go into their account, log on, let it just play in the background. That way we get more uses.
If you work for YouTube, just up our score in the algorithm. I mean, just really flagrantly.
Just cheat for us.
Hey, you ain't gonna get in trouble with that. Just fuck shit up.
So anyway, we'll see y'all next week when we'll talk about who knows what. And I have been your host for the day, the experienced some call Jason, and with me has been.
I've been the token life-size Tarky.
CDL 113, the life-size droid.
Well, I guess now I got to be the life-size Todd father because I don't want to be left out. Peer pressure is a son bitch.
And we'll see y'all next week.
Peace.